When people are at their lowest, when they are their most desperate selves, that's when people come out to exploit them. And we've gone over this on this channel. People who are trying to sell courses or $1,000 resume rewrites that guarantee that people are going to land a brand new job, or people who are just offering jobs without actually having a real job to offer, thus leading to the person who thinks that they're getting a job offer really losing valuable information such as their banking account information if they go as far as giving that to the person with the fake job. Oh, this is for direct deposit. This is for, to be able to make sure that we can give you your paycheck. Nope, your banking account information could easily be compromised. People giving out social security numbers, even on actual job applications. And just people promising the stars and the moon with nothing but imaginary pixie dust in their hands. And maybe it's not so bad. Maybe it's just a matter of people offering support. But really, is it real support or is it fake support? Is it the kind of support that says, I'm there with you, or giving a heart or a thumbs up on a post as opposed to providing genuine help? I mean, what is really going on in this situation? It was Lou Holtz who said, never tell people your problems because 80% of the people don't care and the other 20% are glad you have them. So we can share and we can be open about all of the exact metrics, everything we're actually going through, way overshare our personal information on social media. And is that really going to help us out? Maybe it's therapeutic to get it off your chest, but maybe more in an anonymous way, where your name's not actually front and center tied, no brainer, oh, this is this person's name? Okay, then they might have a problem. If they're oversharing on TikTok, oversharing on LinkedIn under their government name, that might not be the best strategy. And the reality is, like Lou says, 80% of people really don't care. I mean, there's people who comment on this channel, they don't stay around very long because, I mean, if you're not gonna be a part of a supportive, uplifting community, there's no reason for you to be here. To comment on this channel is a privilege. But yeah, there's definitely people who don't care. And then the 20% of people who are glad you have them are probably your haters. And random strangers probably shouldn't fall under haters category. But maybe it's a jealous family member. Maybe it's a jealous friend. Maybe it's a jealous former coworker. They're jealous of the success you've had before. They're jealous of how maybe it's even a sibling. Oh, well, mom and dad always looked up to my sibling and now their life's falling apart, and deep down inside that makes them feel a little bit better. Maybe it's a former colleague who you think is your friend and now you find out, no, you're just work colleagues. Maybe you have some shared diversity from going through the trenches of trying to survive an organization together, but they're not your friend and they don't want what is best for you. So unfortunately, all support is not real support. And even if someone has genuinely good intentions of wanting the best for you, when we're in a situation like we've been in for the past couple years, what is that person really going to do? Because even if someone helps you out a little bit by offering you a referral, that's not always going to lead to a new position. I mean, that's about as much as you can do. Hey, there's an opening at my company. I work here. I can give you a referral. Whether it's out of the goodness of their heart or they get a referral bonus if you've worked there for 90 days, at the end of the day, it probably doesn't matter. Probably more motivated if it's not out of the goodness of their heart and they're thinking about that referral bonus that they're going to get if you get the job, accept it, and stay there for a while. But either way, if someone's vouching for you and putting your name in as a referral, and that is not getting people jobs these days, I don't know what high five and a handshake is going to do either. I mean, that's good if you send me positive vibes, but positive vibes doesn't result in a positive payday in a couple of weeks because I have a brand new job. So with the job market the way that it is, we are in a real crisis, and many people are in a real crisis. And maybe if you have a job, maybe you're a welder, maybe you're a bedside nurse, you have a good job, you have no concerns of the job ever going away, everything's fine for you, and that's awesome. But that's not what this channel is about. This channel is about the people who are struggling to land meaningful, gainful employment. And for that person who has been without gainful employment for more than 6 months. Maybe you do have a 6-month emergency fund, but what if you've been out of work for 9 months, 12 months? Then if you have more months of unemployment than you have money saved up, that's a crisis. That's a real big issue for that person. Maybe not for their neighbors, and maybe not for their former colleagues, maybe not even for their family members, but for that person, that is an absolute crisis. And the reality is, for many people, they're applying and only ending up with ghost jobs, applying and spending hours applying to jobs that are fake, that are never going to hire an outside person, maybe not hire anyone at all, maybe not ever even fill that position. Because the reason our job report numbers look so good are because everyone is okay with saying that jobs that are posted on a job board, whether they actually hire for that person or not, are jobs created. And that's a big problem with just believing the numbers and the reports that the mainstream media gives you. And for millions of Americans, they're finding that there's no actual real jobs out there, not good jobs. Maybe if you can even get a job at a retailer or at McDonald's, which is not easy at all to get these days because there's so much competition, and automation, especially in the fast food sector, is really cutting the amount of human beings that need to be staffed. But even if you land one of those jobs, I mean, what are you going to get paid? What, even if you get paid $20 in California, y'all know how expensive it is to live there? I mean, I live in Florida and it's very expensive. I can only imagine trying to survive in California. So $20 an hour, what does that equal? About $40,000 a year? What's that gonna get you? That's not even that might not even get you an apartment on your own, right? If you don't have someone else to live with, if you don't have a spouse, if $40,000 is all you're bringing in California, you're basically cooked. So the problem is, the reality for millions of Americans is we're not finding actual real jobs out there, just fake support. But today's story I want to share is from Latasha, who says, "Please note, I'm not looking for a handout. I'm not asking for sympathy. I'm not asking to bypass proper vetting. I'm simply asking for help and a fair chance. I've been watching the pattern and it's breaking my heart. Post about my housing crisis, views and silence. Ask for work, people check my experience and say nothing. Share my struggle, well, I digress. But if I want to unalive myself, watch how fast the comments pour in. Thinking of you. You're not alone. Here if you need to talk." From the LinkedIn poster, at least in 2025, the main buzzwords. We talk about the buzzwords once you get a brand new job, but the main buzz phrase on LinkedIn is "I see you." That's nice, but that's not really super helpful. And I don't know where Latasha's going to end with this, but we've gone over a handful of posts on this channel over the last few months where the post ends in a Cash App. It ends in a GoFundMe. So this is what's happening. People are getting that desperate where they're opening up GoFundMes. It used to be, oh, this person had a medical issue and they don't have the insurance to deal with it. Their house burned down, some sort of real tragedy. Now it's, I can't get a job. I mean, everyone in America who wants to work should be able to get a job where they can have a roof over their heads and not have to have roommates, stay in a toxic relationship, or move in with their parents. Some people disagree with me, but that is my stance. If you want a job and you put in the hours, you should be able to, even if it's a studio, have your own roof over your head. For your mental health, for your well-being, you need to be able to have a place on your own if you're available and open to working full-time somewhere. And unfortunately, people have to get real drastic and real extreme with what they share to maybe even get any help at all. But let's see what else Latasha has to say. "People support mental health crisis, but not the unemployment and housing crisis that caused them. All I hear is keep the faith, and I'm praying for you. But faith moves with action. Prayer alone doesn't replace shelter or employment. If support stops at words, it's not support at all. I see reshared posts and comments about mental health and workplace well-being. But when the crisis is poverty, homelessness, survival, you hesitate, you look away, you do nothing." In our last episode, we went over Stephanie's story, and Stephanie said that This isn't right. Freedom shouldn't be survival dressed in dreams. And Latasha is saying something very similar. We're not talking about thriving. Thriving in the greatest country on the planet is not even an option for way too many people. We're talking about survival. We're talking about living paycheck to paycheck. We're trying to figure out how we could just keep a roof over our head and eat something, even if it's just rice and beans. We're not talking about fancy vacations, expensive cruises. We're just talking about survival. The ceiling for the average American went from doing pretty well for yourself, at least mildly thriving, to now the ceiling is just surviving. And that's terrible. And even with good intentions don't really help the person out. Good intentions don't pay the bills. So yes, if all you could do is share a post or like a post, I don't know if that's really going to help. I haven't heard, I go through these stories each and every day, and I haven't heard, oh, this person shared my post and it resulted in a brand new job. And that's not to be ungrateful. That's probably all that the average person could do. Like I said, even if you get a referral these days, it doesn't mean that you're going to land a job. So maybe that's all they can do if they don't know of anyone else hiring, if the company that they're at isn't hiring. It's a tough situation to be in. And I'm sure Latasha is very upset over this, but if you don't have a job, if you're not a hiring manager, I don't know what you're really going to do. Sharing and liking the post is the best someone could do. So I don't know if that's doing nothing, but unfortunately, there's only so much people can do to help out their fellow human unless they actually make the decision for the organization on who to hire and who to let go. Let's continue with some actual numbers that Latasha has shared. The fake support is loud. Views after my crisis post, hundreds. Actual help offered, 3. People who care about my well-beings, hundreds. Companies willing to hire me, 0. 2,000 plus applications in 2.5 years. 1 20-day job in March. Sleeping in the car with my daughters. Maxed out credit cards. Daily overdrafted checking account. No food left. A single mother with 2 degrees. No criminal record, yet I am powerful beyond measure. I see posts about supporting Black women. I see shares about lifting each other up. I see comments about systematic barriers. But when survival is at stake, where is the action? Unconscious bias isn't just a hiring issue. It's a survival issue. It's deciding my HR experience doesn't matter because I'm homeless. It's watching a mother sleep in her car and still wonder if she's qualified or even worthy enough. We'll pause there. Don't like to play the race card on this channel, so I won't hear it either, because this is affecting people of all races and creeds and colors. Unfortunately, it's not just affecting one sector of our population. But yeah, 2,000 plus applications in 2.5 years. Even if you were to do quick applies, you would think at least a blind squirrel catches a nut every now and then, right? A broken clock is still right twice a day. You think by some happenstance you'd be able to land something, but unfortunately that's not the case. And I'm not saying she's doing anything wrong. That's just the reality of our situation. And yes, once again, we don't know how many people actually care, if they like or if they share a post, but people are not in the position to help other people. Now, if we want to get away from people and focus on companies and organizations, that's a completely different ballpark. If she was getting reached out to by an organization, or if an organization representative liked her post, if she's like, hey, you got any jobs there? And like, oh yeah, apply for a job or whatever, then yeah, that's probably fake support. Or if there is a recruiter who says, oh, we're hiring whatever, and it's like, oh, can I at least get my resume in front of someone? And they say, yeah, just join our talent portal or apply to jobs online. Like, well, that's not really helping. That's probably fake support. But unless you are in the position to actually hire someone, there's really not much you can do to help people out. But it is absolute shame that someone with no criminal record who does want a job cannot get a job. That's absolutely sad. And I don't like being charged with hyperbole, so I won't say that HR careers are dead. But I think we do have to look at the need the desire of the market to have new HR hires in 2025. Because yes, we hear everywhere all the time that certain industries, certain occupations are being replaced right now, or at least in the future, by AI. On this channel, we focus on, it's so hard to get a job because you have to get through an applicant tracking system. You have to make sure that AI scans your resume correctly. You have to deal with virtual recruiters. You have to do one-way assessments, one-way interviews. There's so much technology that's playing gatekeeper to your brand new job. But if we look at it from the other side of the table, who is that AI also affecting? It's not just a job seeker, it's also affecting those who are supposed to be finding people for jobs, who are supposed to be screening people out. So if the AI is that much of a factor, whether it's great or not, I don't think it's great. I mean, if you've ever applied on Workday, you see how it parses out. It's not great. You can apply to a job and you're a perfect fit, and you can get a basic standard email that, you don't meet the qualifications. Like, I literally do. I'm not saying it's a great fit. I'm saying it's what's being used. It's what's being accepted. It's what's being championed right now. So what are we going to do? Unfortunately, perception is reality. And for many organizations, the perception is this AI is at least good enough, if not great. So if it's at least good enough, then who does that also affect? Unfortunately, that affects HR. And I know HR people do more than just talent acquisition, but I mean, HR is there to protect the company anyways. They could probably get someone else to do it. And when it's an employer's market, are you really going to go to the HR and complain about situations? Could you just be gone? Maybe you could just complain to your manager and your manager could just fire you. Skip the middleman. There's just a lot of things that are reducing the value, unfortunately, of someone working in HR. So I don't know what the right answer is, right? Even if you're in technology, what is the right answer? But there's got to be some kind of pivot that you can do, because just sticking with HR is not going to work. Maybe you can be an office manager. Maybe you could be an executive assistant. Maybe, I don't know, you could be a bank teller. Maybe there's another route that you can go that doesn't necessarily require you to have to get a brand new degree. Maybe you could be a substitute teacher. There's got to be something when your career is being viciously attacked like it is by AI that you can do, because I don't see anyone doing massive hiring for HR. And that's unfortunate, but yeah, if Latasha was my friend and asked me for my advice, I would say figure out some kind of pivot, any kind of pivot you can do, because I don't see the market for seasoned HR representatives getting any better. And I wouldn't post posts like this. This is a lot of really personal information tied to your government name, but c'est la vie. This is what people are doing. So let's see what else she has to say. You say you want resilient leaders. You say you want problem solvers. You say you want women who push through adversity. Well, here I am. I'm not angry. I'm heartbroken because I believed the post, because I believed we were community. I believed support meant more than just double tapping a motivational quote. But I've learned the difference between performing care and providing care. I've been relentless in my fight, unwavering in my faith, unbreakable in my resilience. Look at everything I've carried, and I am still here. Still standing, still pushing forward, still refusing to be swallowed by this storm. Love to see the fight, the tenacity. It's extremely hard to be faced with this kind of adversity, to be standing in a storm like this that is the current job market and not be completely swallowed up by it, completely destroyed by it, and to just completely give up and just stop trying. We also have to look at the reality, not what people say, but what they do, right? People's actions are a lot louder than any of their words. So organizations, yeah, maybe they say these things like they want resilient leaders, they want problem solvers. I don't know about the women pushing through adversity. I don't think that anyone's actually real about that. But the reality is they don't want any of that stuff. They want people who are going to work hard. These organizations want people who are going to do a job at bare minimum, salary. I mean, if the ideal situation for most corporations is to outsource it and pay people pennies on the dollar. But if they are hiring Americans, they want you to go into the office, work full time, take a big pay cut from where you were before. I don't know if they want women or men or whatever, but they definitely don't want people who are going to stir the pot. They don't want people who are going to make things difficult for them. And unfortunately, you see posts like this. This looks like someone who's going to make things difficult for the organization. If things start to not work out well, they're going to raise red flags, especially in an HR position. This is not the kind of thing they want, right? They want to see LinkedIn posts of all the great things you could do, how you're willing to do whatever it takes, work multiple different jobs. You're going to be a game changer. You have all this experience. You can bring all this to the table. In this post, it's very lengthy and it's even longer. Got into more race baiting I didn't really want to go into here, but I'm not seeing things about what you would do for an organization. It's all about the person's struggle and not about what you're going to bring to the table for the new organization, which I think is absolutely mission critical. So I would never have posted this kind of thing. Like I said, I benefit for this, be able to read this on this channel, but if you're going to make a LinkedIn post, talk about all the value you're going to bring to the company. Don't have all these red flags. And unfortunately, like Lou Holt said, never tell someone your actual real problems, because 80% of people don't care and the other 20% are just glad you have them. But let me know what you think about Latasha's post down in the comments below. And if you have some extra time, YouTube thinks you'll get a lot of value out of the video on screen now. And until next time, remember, times are tough, but so are you. Talk to you later.